what we're about to show you here is our tackling circuit. In our tackling circuit, this is the way we start practice, and obviously it's a non-padded practice. We have 4 stations that we'll do with 2-minute circuits and a 30-second break in between. The first circuit that we're teaching here is our 6-point form and fit tackling circuit. So as you look at the players here, they'll get in a 6-point stance using their hands, their knees, and their toes in a 6-point stance in front of two large bags right here. The coaching points on this as we go through the 6-point circuit are that the players are going to extend through the ball carrier. They're tackling. When we coach tackling with the chest on the rise. We want to make a chest-to-chest tackle. We want to sky our eyes. Keep our helmet out of the tackle, obviously, because you don't want to drop your head and miss the tackle. You clearly don't want to drop your head and tackle with your eyes down and hurt yourself. That causes bad injuries and things like that. So what we want to focus on here is tackling with our chest on the rise, skying the eyes, and then exploding through the hips. And what we'll coach at a later station is we want to keep our feet alive and active and run our feet through the ball carrier. What we're doing here is with chest on the rise, sky the eyes, rip the arms up through the ball carrier, tackling low to high. Second progression in our tackle circuit is we try to teach the players break the drill, as you see, and they progress on to the next circuit. And then what we're teaching here is an angle tackle. On this angle tackle, we call it shuffle alley. And the coaching point on this tackling drill is that we want to have our vision on the near hip of the ball carrier. Our visions on the near hip of the ball carriers. The ball carriers are about the ball carrier and the tackler are about 5 yards apart. The tackler starts to slide his feet, working downhill, inside out on the ball carrier right there, tracking the near hip, such that when the ball carrier, we want to, at the last second when we're making the tackle, slide our head across, tackle with our head across, hips behind, making a good angle tackle. The most common mistake that occurs on a shuffle alley tackle is a guy overruns the ball carrier. We want it, and the key to it is tracking the near hip of the ball carrier, staying inside out on the ball. So as you see the players here, they're sliding downhill, not crossing their feet, and they work to track the near hip of the ball carrier and tag off on the backside hip to ensure that proper angle. If we were continuing with the tackling drill, one of 2 things would happen. The ball carrier would continue on this progression, and we'd slide the head across, keep the hips behind, and snap shut that front shoulder and front hip, taking the ball carrier back to where he came from. Or we'd allow the ball carrier to cut back on the player. By tracking the near shoulder, you stay behind the football and allow yourself to slide your head back across the ball carrier and make a good open field tackle. So we call this shuffle alley tackle, and it's coaching on the angle of the tackle. The third station in our tackling circuit is what we call just a perfect form and fit tackle right here. So what will get the ball carrier and the tacklers approximately 10 yards apart. The players, as you can see, will work up and they'll sprint to close ground on the ball carrier. Sprint to close ground. That's the most important thing. Don't gear down. Don't break down too far away from the ball carrier. As we approach the ball carrier, we'll execute what we call shimmy. And when we talk about shimmying, we talk about widening our base, shortening our stride, crunching our toes, coming into a good football position with our knees bent, chest up, eyes up. Now as the players start to tackle the ball carrier, what they should eventually do, now they can go to their right and their left. But what they want to be able to do on the form and fit is step to a stagger. And neither of those guys did that right there. But as they step to a stagger, they want to step either their right or their left leg into the ball carrier right there. And they want to get themselves in a perfect power clean position with the knees bent, chest up, eyes up, exploding through the ball carrier. Now as we go to make the form tackle, we want to tackle the chest on the rise, sky the eyes, see what you tackle, all right, face up, eyes up, all right, tackle the sky the eyes, keep the feet alive and active, and rip your arms up through the ball carrier, keeping your elbows tight. Don't wrap your arms around the ball carrier. You wrap your arms around your girlfriend. You wrap your arms around your wife. You rip your arms up through the ball carrier. Now as we progress in the drill, what we'll have the ball carriers do is they'll come up straight ahead and they'll go at a 45-degree angle to the right or to the left. So the players execute the exact same shimmy, sprint, shimmy, ready to break to their right and to their left, point their knee in the direction they want to go, and now they have to execute the angle tackling drill that we learned in the last station. So they're now aiming at the near shoulder. Their vision is on the near shoulder, that or near hip of the ball carrier right there, near shoulder and hip of the ball carrier, and that's where they're aiming. As the ball carriers go there, they got to slide their head across, make a profile tackle with their head across, hips behind, tackling the near hip of the ball carrier, and then eventually closing that front shoulder and hip to take the ball carrier back to where he came from. Again, we call this, again, it's a shimmy tackle, form and fit tackle, but at an angle right here. Attacking the near hip and shoulder of the ball carrier. Don't get overextended. Don't lunge. Perfect perfect body positioning with the knees bent, chest up, eyes up. Close that front shoulder on contact right there. Keep your feet alive and speed your feet. Keep your feet alive and active on contact. 41 there, if you just watched him, he wrapped his arms around the ball carrier. You got to rip your arms up through the ball carrier. Be violent as you rip your arms up through the ball carrier. Be violent. Elbows tight to the body. We got to be more violent. Don't overrun it. We always tell our guys, if you're attacking the far shoulder of the ball carrier, you're going to miss on the overrun. He's going to be able to cut back on you. More big plays occur in games because of overruns than because of not being fast enough to close ground.